How do you say the band name? Is it Axioma?
Correct.
All right. I got something right. Fuck yeah. What was the catalyst for the band like coming together? I think you guys been together, what, about 6 years, coming up on seven, right?
Yeah, so yeah. Actually the catalyst was Cyril, their guitar player, had like a bunch of ideas for a side project. He had another band that he was focused on, and he got together with a couple guys, and they went into a friend's basement studio and just put some songs together, which was the Opia EP. And I saw him at a show somewhere, and I didn't have anything like pressing going on, and he was telling me about it, and I was like, well, who's gonna play bass? And he's like, I was just gonna put the lines down. So I had him send me the material, and yeah, like a week later, I was in that basement throwing bass lines down. So
Oh
and
yeah.
then and I also had a vocalist, but he didn't have like I don't think he had complete songs done or anything. And because I listened to the stuff every day for like a week before I went in the studio. I didn't even like really learn the songs. I just went in and kind of wrote it on the spot. And I had some vocal ideas and I just threw them together. And then like the next day he messaged me and he's like, yeah, you're gonna be the vocalist. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I don't want to do that. And so by every band I've ever been in, by default, I'm the one that screams. So it happened, and I hate it, but I like hate to love it, I guess, you know.
Yeah, it's one of those things, and you fucking keep getting pigeonholed into it. Like
Yeah,
one day you'll learn not to get on the mic.
I, trust me, I've been in maybe like two or three bands where I wasn't, and I just love it. But
Yeah.
yeah,
You focus on just the fucking playing. That's gotta be nice.
right, right.
So I listened to um I listened to the EP, dude. It is fucking good.
Thanks, man.
Like like from start to finish. It's and not just good, like it's pretty fucking fantastic.
Thanks, man.
Like so you guys were offered to come play Lakeside for the Eclipse, and you ended up writing not the full EP, but like the first song. Um Shit. I feel like an asshole because I'm like, oh, what was the fucking name of it?
That's the name of
The
the EP. It's just Live
Yeah, live.
Totality. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, so you ended up write the first song and then performed it out there and recorded it during the
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so there's a video. If you look in the video, you can see like my laptop there where literally is running Logic as we're playing the song is being recorded. And it's funny because a couple people have asked me like, "Oh, so you guys filmed that video and then you went in the studio and recorded that song?" I'm like, hell no, we recorded it right there on the spot as it was happening. Uh, no, and we mixed it in a studio, but there were no overdubs, nothing. It's as live as it can be.
That's freaking cool. That's like that's a really cool concept to do something like that because who else, gets out there and says, "Hey, let's do this."
I'm surprised. I was surprised because it because of today's like the vinyl production and stuff, it's taken so long for it to actually the finished product.
Yeah,
And I'm like, any day now, we're gonna see a video or see something where a band has already done this and have not seen anything. It's like,
right.
we're the only fucking people who did this? I don't know. Apparently, as far as I
Yeah,
can tell.
it sure fucking seems that way, but it's a really cool concept because I think a lot of people are so enthralled with like, oh, I want to see the eclipse happen And you
Sure.
guys, right, obviously are like seeing the eclipse, but it's from a sound aspect, which is, it's just really fucking cool.
Yeah. I mean, I've been playing live for freaking 25, 30 years, and I can honestly say that that was the most intense live experience I've ever had. Like literally for 4 or 5 months after it happened, even describing it to people, I would just get chills.
Hell yeah.
Just describing it. So yeah, it was pretty amazing. And we were so lucky that, number one, the weather was and everything just fell into place, and it couldn't have come across any better. We
Right.
got lucky. We got lucky.
Yeah. The stars aligned, as they say, right?
Right. Pun,
That's
pun intended.
absolutely. It's, what, like when you guys sit down or even sat down to start writing this, like obviously you're thinking about the eclipse, but were you thinking about peaks and valleys and that kind of shit?
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, I mean, it was. I mean, it's pretty much, it's just a slow build up, and then, it's basically really one peak, and then you kind of
Yeah.
come down after that. Um, I found an app on the phone, and I typed in Lorain, Ohio, and it showed on this app the timeline of exactly when it would happen. So once we had the riffs and the skeletal structure of the piece of music, I went to that and I'm like, all right. So we demoed a version of it, and I used that app and just adjusted accordingly, and it fucking worked somehow.
Well, however, dude, it worked,
Yeah.
That's a lot of thought and a lot of like lining up that you've got to do because it has to go. You only have one shot.
Right. Right.
It's not like you're like, oh, we fucked up. Let's start over again. Like, nope.
Exactly. Exactly. So, like I said, we're it's almost overwhelmingly happy that it came out like it did because I mean it was in the back of our mind like, yeah, it would be cool to release this, but yeah, what are the odds that it's going to be a final product that we could put out? And it sure as hell was. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool as fuck. So you've been out. It's today's the ninth for those of you listening. Um, it's been out for like 3 days. How have you guys seen the response from it?
it's been very good actually. Probably the best response we've ever had for a release. I mean, you know, not too many people even know about us, or look at our Spotify monthly bullshit, and there's like, oh, there's 90 people, or whatever it is. I don't.
Yeah,
I look at it now and then, and I'm just, why do I even bother? But we're not a fucking internet band, so
right.
we're not on fucking TikTok or anything. We don't we barely even do the socials. We have a friend that kind of does it for us a lot of the time because we're so bad at it. We're
Sucks, dude.
just
It sucks being old and trying to like deal with all the socials. You're like, I don't know what like there's a new one coming out. I just read that's like, oh, this one might take. And I'm like, I don't even like I have a
right.
hard enough time keeping up with the few that I do already.
Yeah, I like it's Facebook and Instagram, and I don't even Instagram. I barely even know how to operate that. So it's like as far as a band, we just go in our room and we write music and we play live shows. It's just like so we're not
Right.
in it. We're not in it for accolades or money or if people come along and join the ride, and fuck yeah, that's awesome. But if not, we're just gonna keep doing it. Too dumb to quit.
Yeah. Too dumb to quit. I like that. It's the fucking truth though. Like I
Yeah,
think a lot of, obviously when you're a kid, at least for me, when I was a kid, I was like, man, I want to, I want to get in a band and be fucking big rock star and have all the ladies, and then you get a little bit older and it's like, I really don't give a shit about that. Like I just want to have fun, play music with my
Yeah,
friends, and whatever happens, happens.
exactly.
So who were some of those early influences for you that pushed you to get in and start playing music?
Uh, well, I mean, the first one, when I was a kid, it was Kiss. Like my grandmother would look after me while my parents were at work, and my seven at the time, he's probably like 17, 18-year-old uncle would be at school, and I would like try to sneak into his room and check out his records. And my grandma, she caught me and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I want to listen. So she gonna start pulling all these records out and putting them on and playing them for me, and I look at the cover of Hit Parader, and I'm like, "Who are these girls?" And she's like, "They're not girls, it's Kiss, like." And we're talking this, I'm fucking dinosaur, so we're talking like 1976 or something,
Yeah.
in their prime, or so to speak. So yeah, and it went from there. I loved music from there on out, and then of course when the Slayer, Metallica, all that stuff started coming out. That's when I was like, okay, this is for me. That's when I just started playing music.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember those, those days in the 80s when fucking Slayer and Metallica were just starting to really like build
Yeah,
everyone. I mean, at least everyone in my circle, probably yours too, were like, "Oh my God, what is this? This is so awesome." Because
yeah,
you didn't have shit like that. That
yeah.
was so that
Well,
was really cool.
it's funny. Like in my high school, it was like me and like maybe five, six of my friends were listening to that stuff. And everyone else was just like, "Oh, what is that crap?" And then bringing back, like Facebook and whatnot, and then you look, uh, when that came out, Facebook, like 10, 15 years later, or 10, 15 years ago, however long. And all these people I went to high school with, like, yeah, going to see Metallica. I'm like,
Yeah.
where were you, man?
Yeah.
So it's pretty funny.
It is. It's real funny, but it's, at the same time, like, I don't know how it was for you, but for me, like, of course, those first Metallica albums, right, up until Justice were like, oh, right, they were like
Oh,
the
yeah,
grails, and then
sure.
Black came out, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah. I,
you
I,
know,
I still remember the disappointment of like, I went bought that CD the day it came out and came home and was all hyped, and then it was just like womp womp womp.
yeah,
Like, oh, bummer.
yeah, me
Thanks,
too. But
Bob.
then, you look back at it, like that Black album really brought them. It
Exactly.
was all new fans, which were great because now they're what 40 something years into their career and still
Sure.
playing, you
Yeah.
know?
I mean, I'm not really knocking it. It was just for me, it was a disappointment. But like you said, they just blew the fuck up after that, and
Yeah.
household names, literally.
Yeah, that was it. That Enter Sandman was like everywhere. You couldn't get anywhere, couldn't get away
Yeah.
from it. I'm like, son of a bitch,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
That's all right though. When's the last time you went to see Metallica?
Well, fuck. I wouldn't couldn't even tell you what tour because I haven't really listened to their stuff in so long. But I feel like I think they played in Cleveland at the arena, and I like snuck in, or someone gave me a ticket. I know I didn't purchase a ticket, but went in, and in their stage show, I just remember the stage show, like it was fake, like this fake, like people falling from the rafters, or from the steel beams, and like part of it fell down. I literally saw people like crying, thinking that people were hurt and shit. So
Wow.
that's all I can tell you. I don't know what record it was, the tour. It had to have been 15 years ago, probably.
Oh
That was,
shit.
yeah. Like
That
I
was
mean,
like
it was, yeah, I couldn't tell you what record it was because
probably
I'm
like
not.
Death Magnetic or something.
It might have been. 'Cause I'm not familiar with their stuff over the last 15 years or so. I mean, I know like I've seen it, but if you played a song for me other than that Saint Anger, because that snare's so atrocious, but if you played a song for me, I'd be hard pressed. I wouldn't be able to tell you
Yeah,
what
but
record it's from.
like you think Saint Anger and that shit Saint Anger is almost 30 years ago.
Oh my God.
How fucking
Thanks.
old do you feel now?
Thanks, dude.
Yeah. Like, like you're like 10 or 15 years ago, and then you said Saint Anger, and I'm like, when
I
did that come out? Like, holy fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been 20 years ago. I don't even know.
Yeah.
But it was a
Uh,
long fucking time ago
like,
since I've seen Metallica.
that's so fucking funny. God, God, it makes me feel really freaking old. Think that,
Yeah.
that long ago. So, what, like, what's the plan for Axioma in the next like 12 months?
Just playing shows when, we're invited and we're just writing new music. We finished up a song just yesterday, a new song. Like, we have no shortage of ideas ever. So, I mean, we between us all, we've got hundreds of riffs on computers and whatever, we can just bring up any, like we're always working on new stuff.
Hell
So
yeah.
so that's the, main focus. We would love to tour, but it's just, you know, someone who actually draws a crowd would have to ask us to go out, and nobody asks us for anything. So we just plug along and
We
do our
just keep
thing.
going. Do you guys ever do like weekender runs up,
Yeah,
Detroit, Kentucky, Indiana, anything?
yeah, sure. I mean, this summer we went out, we did like 10 days, like mostly like East Coast stuff. This band Avowal like approached us and they're like, we want to organize this tour and we want you guys to be a part of it. And we're like, fuck yeah. So, I mean, we'll jump in the van anytime. It's just a matter of nobody knows who the fuck we are, so no one really invites us like, hey, come play, some people do. It's just, you know, it's it's a whole different ball game than what it used to be as far as touring and playing live.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a very different world now. But you know, I, we both say that, and I think a lot of times it's, if you really want to get out there and do it, like the opportunity's there, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, every time we play somewhere, we gain tons of fans, but also being as old, it's harder to, just jump in the van and go play in front of five people in Boise, Idaho,
Yeah.
which I mean, we don't mind, but as far as, when you come home and you're fucking couple grand, you got mortgage to pay and all that shit, and you're like, well, fuck, you know, it's just a different thing when you're our age, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Now that it is, and I think part of that is like making sure you're hitting the right places too,
sure.
you
And
know?
and no, not to discredit Boise, Idaho either, because I've played there and other things, and that just came out of my mouth. So it could be anywhere, And
Yeah.
but that being said, as soon as someone says, "Hey, you want to play here?" We're like, "Yeah, let's do it." But as far as the motivation of making it all happen ourselves and dealing with fucking promoters that are totally flakes, that don't understand what promoting means and things like that. Just over it. We'll just keep writing music and
Yeah. Well, there's a place here, Highlands Tap Room. They do a Metal Monday.
where are you at?
I'm in Louisville.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
Uh, Metal Monday is like a built-in fucking crowd. It's always packed. Like bands have a killer time. Would love to see you guys down here for that.
Oh, and on a Monday at that?
Yeah,
Fuck yeah, we'd be down for that for sure.
hell yeah.
I didn't realize in Louisville's really not far from us.
No, about 5 hours.
Yeah, yeah, I just saw that. Did Coliseum just play like a reunion show there?
I think so.
Yeah, I thought
Ju-
I saw something about that.
yeah, just I think just a few months ago, right?
I feel like it was maybe a few weeks ago.
Oh, that could be. I don't know, man. I always have so much shit going on. It's like I
Right, right.
totally I've got a show tonight. I totally forgot. I like wake up, I'm like, okay, I've I'm working and doing shit until this time and then I'm good. And then I look at my calendar and I'm like, no, I'm not. I got a fucking show I'm going to.
Yeah.
Damn. Wife's like, glad thing you caught up on sleep last night, huh? Like, yep, good thing I did, because now I'm going right back in the fucking hole.
Yeah.
Who are some of like the bands that you saw that absolutely blew your mind?
Well, shit. I've seen. Well, see, I work in the industry, so I see everything. But back in the day, I would say, definitely like a show with it was Neurosis and Dazzling Killmen.
Oh, damn.
I believe that was the Enemy of the Sun Neurosis area and that era, and I wasn't familiar with them, and I saw them, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And so yeah, them and like earlier when I was younger, the first couple Slayer shows I saw like and yeah, and I mean I've seen like Les Paul, fucking blew my mind, like amazing. Like I'm lucky to be able to see and meet him. Uh, Man, I couldn't. It would literally take me about 5 minutes and sit. I'd have to sit and think about because I've seen so many fucking live acts.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen. I saw when Queens of the Stone Age when they basically Mark Lanigan quit the band.
Mhm.
I watched it happen when he quit. I was standing right there. It was not a good scene at all. It was backstage and he left and they played a set because he was doing like 6, 7 songs during their set and like he left and they had to rearrange their set without him and they fucking killed it. But whoa, oh, that was awkward. but
Yeah.
but I've just seen so many crazy fucking things like that, So, but off the top of my head, those would probably because I was younger and much, know, and much things made much more of an impression on me. You
For
know,
sure. Yeah, I didn't I've only seen Primus once. I saw him on the that Slayer final run,
yeah,
and it
I,
was felt so weird where they were, like well, I'm Primus and Slayer, and then you've got Ministry and Phil Anselmo.
sure,
But
yeah, like, and yeah, there's another Ministry back to like the first or second Lollapalooza. That was another one.
oh yeah, like
And
the Psalm 69 days.
yeah, and it's funny you mentioned Primus. It was like last year or maybe 2 years ago. They played here in Cleveland at a venue that's like right on the river downtown. And I hit up a buddy of mine that has a couple kayaks. I was like, "Hey man, you want to go on an adventure?" He's like, "Fuck yeah!" So I go over to his house and like load up the kayaks, and I didn't tell him what was going on. We went down, we got in the river, and just floated right over by the show and just chilled on the kayaks and checked Primus out. And
Oh yeah.
it was funny because Les made a comment about because there was probably like maybe total of 10 kayaks down there just hanging out. And he commented about it on stage. It was pretty funny.
Hell yeah. He's
But,
like, they're
and
getting a
that was
free show.
right, right. But, I've probably seen Primus a handful of times, but that was the last time. And it was a good one.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's that in Cincinnati, they've got an amphitheater right on the fucking water. And I can't tell you how many boats are out there during concerts. Like we went to I tried to do a Jimmy Buffett concert because my buddy's
Oh,
like, yeah, my buddy's
hell,
like, you gotta
hell
go. And
no.
I was like, cool, I'll go once. I swear I made it about 3 songs. I'm like, I gotta go. I can't.
Yeah, I don't even think I would make it through the door.
Uh
Just seeing the people.
yeah, it was not my scene at all. I don't even know. I was probably wearing like a goat horse shirt. People are looking at me like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Whatever.
right.
It's all part of it. So what do you do in the industry?
I do sound
Hmm.
engineer.
Shit, that's cool. Makes it really easy for you guys as a band.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
For our at least for our live stuff, I can communicate to engineers like what we need.
Yeah.
It's been helpful, quite helpful a lot of times.
Yeah, I'd say that really is probably I think a lot of bands failure or a lot of failures in sound is when you have a hard time communicating really what you need from a
Sure,
live aspect, you know?
sure.
Shit. That's really cool. I always wanted to do sound, but I don't have the focus to do it. Like I'm like, they're like, dude, you missed your cue. And I'm like, I was talking to sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking lame. So do you guys have obviously you're writing and recording more stuff. Do you guys have more stuff coming down the pipeline?
No, nothing concrete, like not a release, but I think we probably got 3 or 4 mostly finished songs and tons of other ideas to work on. So we'll be busy, that's for sure.
Hell yeah.
And my cat's like running around crazy. I'm just like, sorry.
Uh no, you're good. Mine actually, she like right before I started this, she was like clawing me and shit. And I'm like, listen, will you like lay down? And now she's asleep right next to me. So
Nice. Yeah,
I think,
he's just running around my legs, and he's got a toy to keep him busy. So
hell yeah. Yeah, she fucking got a couple weeks ago. I was like in a couple of interviews and for whatever reason, she just started biting me. I'm like, you've never fucking bit me before. What the hell's going on?
odd creatures they are.
Yes, they are. So what's the next time you guys are playing out?
We are playing at the Grog Shop in Cleveland, January 4th, I believe, with Punching Moses, and then another band called Nuclei. I think that's how you pronounce it, but that's got OG Integrity, the Melnick brothers are in that band. So I haven't seen them live yet. I listened to the record. I like it a lot. So, and I mean, I know those guys, so I know it's going to be awesome live. So looking forward to that. And then we play with Pelican in Columbus, Ohio, uh, January maybe 16th, I think.
Okay.
Those are the only scheduled things we got going on right now as far as live shows.
Yeah, that's all right. That's at least something, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking like my buddy Dion, who's in Cleveland, he's coming down here I think on the 5th or 6th. I might come up there on the 4th and then just fucking hustle back with him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, I want to see you guys live. Like fucking cat.
Well, yeah, he's got this crazy toy, and it just flew like by my head. It's attached to the ceiling. I don't even know. I don't know if it came on the screen or not, but I was like,
Nah,
"Whoa!"
I didn't see it. I seen you jump and I'm like, whoa shit. Cat's fucking
Yeah,
with him. He's
Crazy
like, watch
bastard.
this.
Yeah.
So when you guys play live, obviously you have a set, a set list. Do you guys like since Live Totality just came out, are you going to plan to play that in full or are you going to mix it up?
Nah, we discussed we probably won't play that song ever again because it was a one shot deal, and nobody wants to see that in some dingy basement in in Boise, Idaho, or wherever. Like it makes it more special that if we're just like that's what it was, and we documented it and enjoy that, because you know we'll play the other songs on the EP, which I think we will play those the next couple shows. But as far as that song, 14-minute Doom song,
Yeah.
instrumental Doom song, that's that's a hard sell anywhere, really live. So yeah,
I don't
we
know.
just
Usually those Doom kids are so high that like you could play one
sure,
song and they're like, "Hey, that's
yeah,
cool."
yeah. No, that's cool. Pull up a couch and you know. But no, we just want to keep that as a one time thing, and never say never, of course. But you know,
Yeah.
uh, yeah. So if you want to experience that, you gotta get the vinyl or the download or whatever, or watch the video.
Nah, I just want to see the band. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. No, we'll play the other songs on the B side of the EP. We'll do those live for sure.
hell yeah. What was how long did it take you guys to actually press the vinyl for it?
We still don't have them.
Oh shit.
Yeah. We were well, when I got the test presses, I put it on, and because it's an EP, but it's on 12-inch vinyl, I
Hmm.
put it on. And I'm like, this is supposed to be 45 RPM. And it's 33, so I had to send it back. They had to redo it at 45 RPM. So there was that, and then there was an issue with a stamper where I guess a lot of them that they did had scratch on them, so they had to redo them. We were hoping to get them actually on Friday because I got a friend who works for the company, and he hit me up last week like, yeah, I see your records. It looks like they're finishing them up. I'm like, sweet, but no such luck. So I actually talked to him today, and he said he thinks it'll be tomorrow.
All
So
right.
yeah,
I
so
know.
it's taking a long time.
Yeah. Like you don't ever know with vinyl. Like some places they can get you knocked in and out pretty quick, but you
Yeah.
know, that's if everything goes
Oh
perfect.
yeah. Right. There's so many variables,
Yeah.
that could screw it up. So I think
Motherfuckers.
we're still good though. I mean, in this day and age, the way the vinyl climate is we do when you do the pre-orders, people people are aware that it might not come out because of that,
Yeah.
the problems that occur and the wait times. So, but we should, if anybody who pre-ordered them, hopefully we'll be getting them out in the next couple of days.
Hell yeah. I know I bought an album, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 months ago, and I decided probably 3 days ago, like, oh, I'm gonna put it on, and I put it on, gets all the way to the last song on side A, and it's got a divot in it. So it gets to like
Uh,
the chorus and just keeps replaying. I'm like, you motherfucker.
damn. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. Like, and it's been so long, there's no like returning it or doing any of that. I'm like, all right, I'll just have to go buy another.
Well,
Whatever.
apparently no quality control.
Yeah. Well, it was a bigger band, so I'm sure it was just like, grand scale. Let's
Yeah,
put it together and throw it out. It's a lot different when you're on doing like sub 1,000 records.
yeah,
You're
sure.
a lot closer to the process.
Yeah.
Who did who filmed the video for Live Totality?
Our buddy Ed Bats or Bates. I'm not sure. I've never asked him how he pronounces it, but he did all the set up. I think like five static cameras, and then he had a camera he was walking around with, and then a couple people just showed up randomly with drones, and like one was a kid of a couple that was there. He's like 17. He's like, yeah, screw this, and he's just got his headset on. I don't even know what you call it, but he's flying the drone around filming the clips. He could care less about us, but we got amazing footage from him. We had to get in touch with his mom, track him down just to get the footage. But yeah, it worked out pretty well.
That's cool as shit. It's always nice when like you have those surprises. Someone just shows up and they're off doing their own thing. You're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, yeah,
Like let's incorporate that shit.
yeah. It's cool.
You guys, so you guys put the video out on YouTube, right?
Yeah,
And that's all of Live Total the song, right? With the
yeah,
edited video and all that shit.
yeah. All
What was the
14 minutes of it.
yeah, yeah, that man, you keep you say 14 minutes and you don't I don't think people realize how long that really is when you're listening to a song.
Sure, sure. Especially when it kind of builds like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck, in a 14-minute video. Hell yeah. What was that
It
editing process like for for the video?
well, it took a while. We gave it to a friend of ours who um he edits video for a living, and I think he just kind of didn't care about it, kind of put it aside, or I don't know. And we got the first edit back. We're like, whoa, what's going on here? Like he just didn't get our vision, like what we wanted done.
Yeah.
So I hit up another friend, and literally he started from scratch, and within like 2 weeks, that was the what you see now is what he had. So he fucking killed it. Um, so we definitely that process took about, even though it only took him 2 weeks, that whole process took about 2 or 3 months.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's
but in the
t
end, it was worth it.
hell yeah. Yeah, it turned out really good.
Yeah,
Um,
I was very we were very happy with it.
Hell yeah. Did you guys ever think about putting it like on a VHS and selling like limited VHS copies of it?
Not really, but that's a good idea. I don't know if anyone has VHS anymore. I
They
mean, I
absolutely
got
do.
I got one in a box somewhere. I don't even know if it works, but
I was just in a house. The lady had a VHS and a DVD player, and I'm like, oh, those those are still around?
you're right.
Like, all right. Um, but I say VHS because the thing with cassettes have really like
Yeah,
seems to be ramping up lately.
sure.
Like, I won't buy it, but
Right. Yeah, a couple of our previous releases were out on cassette. Someone told me that cassettes are really big, like say like in Indonesia and a lot of places because they get all the leftover cassette decks from the 80s,
Mhm.
and that no one like here or in Europe or wherever wants any of that stuff. So that ends up there. So if you do a cassette, like a lot of those the Asian countries will just eat them up because apparently that's what they have to enjoy music with. I don't know if
I
it's
didn't.
true. Someone told me that, so
Yeah, I don't
that
know. I
sounds legit to me. I don't
could be.
know.
I love that. People are always like, it's really popular here for this reason. You're just like, okay, like I'm
Right.
that way. Like, just tell me that. It it doesn't. It has no weight on anything that I do. So I just Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. I know a lot of people seeing a lot of bands now are really just starting to make like limited cassettes, they're doing a couple hundred and then
yeah,
never again. Kind of like with the vinyl, like they'll do the one color and that's it for that color and then they move on to another color.
yeah, yeah. I believe we did for Crown and Opia. We did like 100 or 200 cassettes, and as far as I know, they're all gone. I mean,
Hell yeah.
I have one of each for personal that I've never listened to. I just have it, but pretty sure they were all they were all gone within a year or so.
Hell yeah. Well, hopefully the vinyl for Live Totality sells out pretty quick and you guys can just like recoup and move on to whatever the next thing is.
Yeah, yeah.
But when it sells out, do you guys have any plans to like repress in maybe a different color?
I don't. We were gonna see how it goes. If it see what the demand entails. There's always that chance because it's our stuff. We own it, so we can do
Yeah,
whatever we want with it. So,
that's the way it should be. I wish more bands would keep their stuff and own their stuff.
yeah, yeah. We just decided that it's just better for us to do it like that.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you hear horror stories of selling all the shit to or signing to a label and them owning everything and then shit not going the way you want it. And I think I was talking with actually no, I was talking with I Hate God and they were, now they own everything, they record everything and they just license to labels. So it's everything's theirs. That there's no selling
Yeah,
off any publishing rights or any of that shit.
yeah. That's like with the I was talking with Sammy from Goat Horror and like a month ago, and like that's with the acid bath stuff. They're getting together to do some shows, which is awesome, but I'm pretty sure they can't record anything because they are owned by a label for the most part. They can't do
Ah,
anything. Their hands are tied basically, as
that
far as I
sucks.
know. But yeah, it's just in this day and age, there's really no reason to rely solely on a record label. At
Right.
least, at least, I mean, for distro and stuff, sure. But if like you should, everybody should own their own stuff, man. That's just bottom line, really.
100%. Like I've felt that way for so many years, and it's nice to see more people really like getting on board with that because you look at so many bands are ruined because they signed to a label and that label essentially owns them, right? Acid
Yeah,
Bath. Like, come on, if they owned everything and kept control of everything, that there's a high likelihood the band would have kept going,
yeah, yeah.
you know?
But also, you're talking the early '90s. That was the thing. A label approached you. You're like, yeah, sign on that dotted line because they're going to do all this stuff for you, and
Yeah.
yeah, turns out they don't.
Right. No, it's a they feed you that fucking that those golden letters, we're gonna make it so great, and then they shit
Yeah,
on you.
and they give you that, that signing bonus, like, oh, here's 10 grand to do your next record, but it's just a fucking loan.
Yeah.
It's not given to you. You got to pay that shit back.
Yeah, that shit ain't sometimes is not cheap. I've got a buddy who manages some artists and he I guess this was about 2 years ago. He got one of his artists signed, but the label gave him a $750,000 like signing bonus. Like, what the like, dude, that all sounds great,
Right.
but you got to recoup that, and you've got to be out there hustling to recoup all of that money.
Yep.
Fuck that. All right, Aaron. Man, I greatly appreciate your time. Uh,
Thank you.
you might see an order coming through from me for the vinyl. So, um, I fucking really dig the EP. I think it's just great from start to finish.
Awesome. Thanks for listening.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, go and have yourself a great day. Maybe you'll see me on the 4th.
Awesome, man.
Hell
Have a
yeah.
good one.
You too. See you, bro.
All right.